Read everybody again.
Bring new fish leads.
Okay, I got kicked off, but here I am. So anyway, you guys, what I love about Arbonne is that when we get inspired to want to live life and do life better because we get taught some skills, we have a vehicle. Arbonne is your vehicle, the perfect vehicle to practice and put into action everything you're learning to be able to grow into the best version of you. And that's all any of us have done on our journey here. It is work, you guys, to retrain your brain. And what I want you guys to do is ask yourself, are you putting in the work? Number one, reading, check. I mean, you probably have read or listened to this book. Maybe you're not a reader, but you're listening to it. Check. That's good. Are you on the book club call to learn what we need to do from somebody else's perspective? Check. You're here. But you guys, it's so important, and this is why I'm so passionate about doing book club calls, is because when you read a book or you listen to a book, you but yourself a lot. And you give yourself an excuse or a reason why you can't do what it is these successful people are talking to you about doing to improve your life and to have success for your life. But what I love about book club is that you have somebody else telling you what you need to believe when you read this, because it's truth. And you don't get to but yourself and get by with it. There's more accountability. 3, are you doing the action steps that she puts in here and reading them? Number 4 is the application of those steps. This is where change and growth will happen. You guys, we have to do different if we want to be different and create a different life than the one that we have had. And I will tell you, most people that come into Arbonne, we are not just creating a different life for ourselves. We're breaking a cycle for our family's life. I know I have a great and wonderful family, but I have broken a cycle of normal in my family by growing myself and doing this business with people that help encourage that growth. So you're doing major good work, but hard work. And if you don't have the right environment to achieve it and to be challenged to apply it, you are not going to be able to change that cycle for your future family and let the dreams that you have for them be there. So what I want you guys to do as we go through all of this, it's the same thing I'm doing. As much as I'm here teaching you guys, I am actually looking and evaluating my life as much as I want you all to be evaluating yours. Where are you in life? What is it that you need to work on? What are the lies that are in your head? Because you guys, as much as we love to blame other people for how they treat us or how they talk to us, what we know is that we are the people that are in control of what that does to us. And if we are the ones that are deleting it or limiting it or putting boundaries around it or just ignoring it, you're going to be okay. You are the one that has that power and that control. Like she says, you have control over you. We are working on progress, not perfection, you guys. Everybody in Arbonne is absolutely a recovering perfectionist. Now, some of us have been more casual people, not committed people over our life, but we are that way because if we couldn't do something perfect, we didn't do it at all. And that is where we are all going to work, you guys, to be able to embrace failing forward and having progress, not perfection, be our goal, or we shut down and just don't do it at all, just like she talked about in this book. That is where we are all working, but your life is up to you, she says, and we have to understand that the lies that get in the way of our happiness identify and systematically destroy every lie that we have told ourselves. What do you believe that is a lie? And what I want to ask you guys is evaluate your Arbonne truths. Do you believe that you can be an EEE MVP? And if you are sitting there saying that there's no way that can happen for you, or you're not good enough to be an MVP, or you're not like all the other MVPs that are there, those are lies, you guys, because none of us were, and that makes me want to cry, because none of us were the people that we are today or that we're going to be. I loved in our Simon Sinek book, Start With Why. We're not the people, we're not as bad as we were 6 months ago, but we're not as good as we're going to be 6 months from now. That is who we are as MVPs in this journey. It's the work that we've done, and we've just started this journey before you, if you're not at that MVP level. But it's not a title you're achieving and working for. It's a better version of you every day, day by day, and being happy with progress, not perfection. Tony Robbins, he says, progress equals happiness. And I love that, you guys. And where sometimes we are rigid. And I don't want to seem as hard as I am, and as much as I'm like Rachel Hollis, where she says in her book, I just want to shake you. You know, she does the little nicey things on her social media, but the people that she gets to do life with, her sister, her best friend, people that she's in contact with, she doesn't let them be victims in life. She wakes them up to become victors. And John Maxwell had a Minute with Maxwell. I hope you guys listen to those every day. It's amazing leadership training in 1 minute every day. And he says that he was a counselor and he hated being a counselor. And he quit being a counselor because what he knows he is an equipper. He is somebody that is not going to sit there and listen to a victim complain and give excuses for why they are the way they are. He is here to help you fix it. And that is what I am. But at the same time, you don't have to be perfect the first time you go do it. You just have to go for progress. Just work to get better, and I'll quit shaking you, because what I will not let you do on my watch, and your leaders' watch are the same way, is that we will not let you get by with being less than what you were meant to be. End of story. My kids have heard me from day one. You don't get to be less on my watch. And that is what we are here to do, and what this girl is saying she wants to shake people into doing, because the lies, you deciding or letting yourself be less or making an excuse to be less, is just because you're living and believing a lie that you have told yourself. And I don't believe your lies. Your leaders don't believe your lies. And so that is where the hard is going to come in, but it's with a whole lot of love. And if they're ever speaking hard things, I have so many people that say, Carlita has made me cry. It's because I spoke truth in love, and I woke you up to the lies that you have been believing for yourself. So that is what we're here to do, you guys, but we're not here to judge you. We're not here to be a boss to you. We're not here to command you. We're not here to be rigid and hard on you. We're here to model first excellence in our own lives, so that you will want and be inspired to want to have excellence in your life, so that you can be and live the life that you were meant to have. That is what we are here to do. And at the same time, it is what you are here to do for the people that are watching you. And that is your challenge as much as it is my challenge. So just because you're not an MVP, you guys, people are watching. The whys that we got from people whenever they wrote in to qualify to get into the Road to Maui challenge, they had to send us 8 whys. And the why that spoke to my heart the most was the one where people said, I want my family to see me succeed. I want to let my husband, my wife, my parents, my children see what I can do and what I can accomplish, so that they can believe they can accomplish anything too. Do you guys know that is the best why you could possibly have? Because you have eyes that are watching you. You have people that are watching, and if you can do it, they believe they can too. And they start replacing the lies that they have in their head with the truths that are true because of you. That is the power that you have whenever you start working and achieving progress for your life to be what you want it to be and what it was meant to be and created to be, not worrying about you can't do it perfect, so I'm not doing it at all. That is what we're here to do, you guys, and this environment is perfect. I love how John Maxwell says how ordinary people change their trajectory, that's a hard word to say, is they do the extra to become extraordinary. Are you doing the extra, the little extras every day to become extraordinary? Because that is what we will do whenever we read this book and apply what she's teaching us. What I love about her, and her main goal that she talks about in her preface, is that she is just real and honest. She talks about peeing on herself. She talks about all the things that, we would be mortified about talking about. And she tries to be totally real and honest of how she has worked to become who she is. And that is, you guys, what leaders are too. We're not the perfect ones. Craig Rochelle, he says, be humble, be yourself, because people would rather follow a leader who is always real than one who is always right or always perfect. Authenticity, you guys, is what people are most attracted to. No one wants a perfect leader. They want an authentic leader. One of my favorite people to hear train as an NVP in this company is Sherry Nickel, because she is the most humble, gracious leader that I know, that laughs at herself and yet shows you how hard she's working every day to get better. She did a training on self-development in our Arbonne one day, and it was absolutely just, I picked her for that because it's my favorite thing to hear her train, because she attracts people and makes them believe that if she can do it, anybody can do it. And I love that about her. And that's what people need to hear from you. They don't need you to be perfect. We're not selling Arbonne on social media, you guys. What we're selling is your authentic self. We're selling you, and you're developing your brand, and that is what people are going to be attracted to. But what I want you guys to learn from, because I see it in Arbonne all the time, is that I see only highlight reels, and I don't see the dirty and the ugly things that, you know, we have going in our life, just like everybody else. Like she says, for every Oscar picture I post a picture of my stretch marks on my tummy to let them know I'm not perfect. And this isn't my real life. This is just what I get to do because I have worked on me to become this. But you guys, she's not perfect every single time. And I see that in Arbonne, and it's going to be more and more in Arbonne, and it's going to rob Arbonne of the ability to reach into more lives, because if people are watching you and they think, I can't be perfect, so I can't do Arbonne, you miss out on people that would have joined you if they just knew that you were celebrating your progresses in your life towards a better version of you, and that you can help them learn how to do the same thing, because you can love them all the way on their journey, just like you're being loved on yours. We're not perfect, you guys. Be real. We didn't get to be the influencer leader in ENBP because we believed our lies. We just worked on ourselves. That's all we did. And what I want you guys to know is that when you do things that are only highlight reels, or I'm going to just like be honest about like how we look. You guys, how many times have you seen me honest? If you could have smelled my breath over social media, you would know I hadn't even brushed my teeth before I got on and started talking to you, because there was something in my heart that I needed to share with you. No hair, no makeup, just me in bed in my pajamas with no bra. You know what? It's okay. I want you to see I'm just a real, transparent leader, and I don't have to look perfect because I'm not perfect. And I want you to see my flaws. I want you to know that I'm proud of every wrinkle on my face. And I posted a picture this week on Instagram. I have wrinkles. I've earned them, and I'm proud of them. But you know what? I'm doing the best I can to age as gracefully as I can with the help and thank you, Arbonne, with the help of Arbonne. That's what we want to show our world. That's what's going to help people trust you, because if they get a fake version of you on social media, what can they trust? If they don't see a real you on social media or in life, you guys, can you walk in front of somebody and not be made up perfect? If they can't see a real you in life, what can they trust in your life? Because they don't know what is real. They've never seen you being real. Be real, you guys. That is what you don't know it, but that's what you love about her. Jackie Mammon is one of my dearest friends in this business, and she has a social media thing, her name or whatever, is Just Real Jackie, because she just is who she is, and she's adorable just like she is, whether she has her makeup on or if she's just her hair back in a messy pony and no makeup. Be authentic, be transparent, be real, and know and show the world I'm working on progress, not perfection. You guys, there's no easy way out. Life will not turn out well if we don't apply discipline. And as hard as you think discipline is, can I just tell you your life is hard today if it's hard because you've had lack of discipline? And life is harder without discipline than it ever is to just apply discipline to your life. Quit hating the D word and embrace the other D word. Decide that you're going to start a new discipline for your life today, because it's going to be easier to be disciplined than it is to live the life that you have lived undisciplined in for life. You will not change your trajectory. There's that word again. If you don't decide to discipline yourself and change and develop some of the habits that we have, don't take the easy way out, because it's not easy. John Maxwell says small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements over time. And it's like the video that I sent you guys in Road to Maui Challenge. And I said, you guys just focus on the dailies. The daily reach outs is all you need to focus on. Those small little disciplines to do that daily will get you everything else you need on that tracker. Just do the small, consistent things, and it will blow your mind what will happen to your life when you do. We fall into ruts, she says. We make mistakes, but once you understand you are the only one in control, then you will keep going until being in control feels more natural than being out of control, you guys. And it will become a way of life, and you will become the person that you were meant to be. That is all I've done on my journey, is I've learned how to quit feeling like I was backed into a corner before Arbonne, and that I had just taken the wrong exit in life and I didn't have any way out, to learning that I had control, and that I thank God for this vehicle, Arbonne, that gave me a way to take control of my life and start developing daily disciplines to do different, so that my life could turn out different 16 years later. And it will be different in 16 more years from now, God willing. She says, you are more than we have become. We let ourselves off the hook, you guys. We're so hard on other people sometimes, and we're so easy on ourselves. Yeah, they should do it, or my team doesn't do this. But what are you doing? What are you doing? If you had a team full of you all over your team, what would your team look like? Would you be happy with your team? Start with you and be hard on you first, so that then you can show people how to be hard on themselves. We're not a boss. We're never going to be able to be hard on our team and get them to do anything they need to do. We're just going to get to be hard on ourselves and show them what we do, so that they can realize, I want that life. It looks amazing to me, and I want what they have. She says, you are utterly in control of what you do with that knowledge. And then I just have the Arbonne's the coolest vehicle, like we said. So you guys, what we do is we just get in this vehicle, and then because we're doing it, we're putting our real selves out there in person and on social media and everywhere. We inspire our world. And what I want you guys to do is to let this life-changing vehicle be what you're out there selling to your world, and not just be selling products. We are selling this community of believers that they can do and be more than they've let themselves be at this point to our world. That's what we're selling. We're not selling Arbonne. We're selling our community. And it says, like Simon Sinek, if you believe what I believe, if you believe that you can be better and you just needed a vehicle and a way to do it, and you haven't found it out there with all those college degrees like I was looking for whenever I got all my college degrees, and you haven't found it in a job or a church or wherever where people gave you the environment where you can become more and do more and be more and share more and make a bigger difference in this world, then you know what? Get in this vehicle, because I'm telling you, it is where you can become anything you decide you want to be if you believe what I believe. That is what we're selling, you guys. Inspire people to want to come in here and do better than they've let themselves do. If it's from just even like washing their face at night. You know what? I don't need you. If you buy the whole set and it overwhelms you, and you don't do every single step twice a day, but I can get you to wash your face once a day, and that's progress, celebrate that. We Can you hear me on the Zoom? I am trying.
We can hear you now, Carlita.
Okay. Thank you. So you guys, on our progress, with what we're doing out here in this world with people, what we're doing is we're helping them make progress. We're not making them be perfect. Don't be rigid. Embrace people where they are. Help them know what's good and what will change their life without a doubt. But if they make a mistake, it's okay, because it's not a diet. If they don't wash their face at night, 1 night out of 7, it's okay. They did 6 out of 7. If you don't do, everything you need to do in this business, you get grace. That's what's beautiful about this business and this journey, is we've all gotten to grow. We all had the grace to grow. And if we remember where we started, and that's what we're out here doing, is giving everyone the opportunity to learn how to take those steps and love them so much they want to take more steps with us, they'll stay with us. They'll stay with us because, you guys, they'll stop believing the lies that if they're not perfect, they're not good. We are here for progress. Progress is what makes people happy. I remember the day, like she said, I was addicted to Diet Coke. I remember when I gave up Diet Coke. I haven't had a Diet Coke in years, but I was as addicted as she was. And I've made progress. Today, I'm a much healthier me, but it's because I've been on my journey, not in an instant gratification mode. And that's what's wrong with us. Progress equals happiness, not perfection, you guys. Chapter 1, she says, something else will make me happy. Stop looking, you guys, for something and honestly quit relying on somebody to make you happy. I know I did a Bible study with Shelley Nelson years ago, and it was talking about how we put pressure on our family, on our husband, or on our kids to be responsible for our happiness. If they're not doing what we want them to do, or they're not where we want them to be, we're not happy. Do you know how much pressure that is on a relationship and how hard that is in life? You guys, let your happiness be from within. I have faith, and that's where I get my happiness. But it is your responsibility, not theirs or your best friends, to make you happy. Why people quit on things in your life, if it isn't making me happy, people quit because they quit on things instead of working on things to get better. Challenge yourself to stay here and grow with us, you guys. There's no other place in the world where you can grow like Arbonne, and you don't get to be less, like we talked about. Here, I've already gone through my notes. People love imperfect leaders. We've done that. People love leaders in Arbonne that talk about their struggles. Sherry Nickel, we've talked about that. We are all normal and fail all the time. Yes, you guys, we're not perfect. I hope you know that, but I hope you realize, honestly, the lies you tell yourself. And I hear people all the time, one of the obstacles that I hear people say is, if I can't do it well, I don't want to do it. You guys, just get in here and do the dailies, and you'll do well, and you'll progress to doing more and better later on. People relate to us because we work to fix our problems. I've done so much of this already. I'm so proud of me. Okay, hang on. Okay, what I love about her, she says, people are attracted to happy people. And she says that there are really people out there that are happy and enjoy their life 95% of the time. She says, people say to her all the time, your life looks perfect. She says, but what they're really saying is, you look happy. And she says, in the chaos, I'm laughing. In the chaos, I'm grateful. In the hard, I'm happy. And she says, I want that for her life, and I want that for my life, you guys. People are out there, if they see that you're not perfect on your social media world and that you have those days, but that you stay happy in it, that's what's going to attract people to you, that makes them think, if they can do it, I might be able to do that too. And they're going to want to follow you because they have problems in their life. And we've learned and we teach. People are out there not looking to buy Arbonne. They're looking for a solution to their problems. And whenever you show them, you have problems. I got problems. Everybody has problems. I have problems. But guess what? I'm working on them, and I'm happy. And I am proud of the progress, because that's where I get my happiness. I don't get my happiness because I had a perfect day, or I have perfect kids, or I have perfect anything, because nothing in my life is perfect, because there is no perfect. There are people out there that in the midst of everything they're doing, they choose happiness. It's a choice. And you're showing people it can be done and that they do not have to be victims. Are you showing your world how to be happy? I was watching my friend, you guys, Amber Willard. She's in qualification for area manager on my team, on our organization. And I'm so blessed to have her in our life, you guys. But she is going through what I can imagine is probably the hardest thing anyone could go through. She is working so hard to fight for her daughter's life, who has a horrible cancer and has horrible days, you guys. And last night, you guys, I got to watch them on Instagram, and they were singing and laughing and playing together and having such a good time and blessing my life and showing me how they can be happy in their hard. Can you be happy in your hard? Do you know how inspiring they are to the world that's watching them? And yet, last week, she was sending me videos of her daughter retching with dry heaves because she was so sick from the chemo. You guys, this week, she was showing me them singing and being happy in the hard. That is what we need to do. That is what inspires the world to believe I am more than I've allowed myself to be. Can you do better? This is me challenging you and her challenging you. If you want to get mad, call it her. If you're okay with hearing it, let me challenge you. Are you okay letting someone challenge you to do better? Because are you happy in your heart? Meet everybody again. They're not surviving life, they're living life. And that's what she says. No one should just survive life. We're supposed to live life, choosing to be happy, grateful, and fulfilled. And she says her tips are, number one, stop comparing yourself to everybody else. If Amber sat there and all she did was look at everybody else's life playing with their happy kids and posting about their days at school and all the events that they got to do you know how sad and depressed and ugly she could be? But she chooses to just be grateful for the happy day that her daughter's not retching with dry heaves. And that's just an example, you guys. You have your own examples. You know what you are in you're happy with and what you choose to let get you down, or you know what you choose to overcome and step up and choose happy anyway. So stop comparing yourself and be grateful and choose to be happy right where you are, but work to make progress to move into the direction that you want to go. Surround yourself, number two, with positivity. That's what we are in Arbonne, you guys. That's the environment we get to live in, and why our CEO, John DeVete, says the world needs more of what we are. They need the gift of the solidarity that we have, where we are choosing to be better than ourselves. We are supporting each other and loving each other on our journeys every step of the way, and celebrating everyone's success whenever they make a win, no matter what it is, even if it's not perfect. Number three, she figured out what makes her happy. What feeds your spirit? And you guys, this is where I ask you all the time, what's your definition of success? What is it that makes you happy? You're in charge of your life, and you choose what gets to be there. So that's her challenge to us. The next one is, she says, moving doesn't change who you are. You must choose to be happy and grateful and fulfilled wherever you are, and then you'll get to go where you want to go. Surround yourself. You become who you surround yourself with. If you find you're unhappy, look around, she says. Who and what do you see every day? Do more things that feed your spirit, and does it feed your spirit to share hope with the world that you are in? Chapter 2 is the lie, I'll do it tomorrow, you guys. And this is where so many of us have done this, where we're like, I didn't get my dailies done today, I'll do it tomorrow. Or I didn't have a good week in Arbonne this week, I'll start next week. Or I'll next month it. I was going to try to hit my goals this month, but it's going to have to be next month. You guys, next month mentality, tomorrow starts with next week mentality, starts with tomorrow mentality. We have to start today and make today the day that we win. And if we do today, you guys, then you know what? It's like John Maxwell's book, Today Matters. That's what's going to help you have the life that you want 5 years down the road. But if you are the next day, it turns into the next week and next month and next year person. And eventually you have this whole buildup in your life that is not where you want to be, and you let yourself be less than you were supposed to be. I talked about the whys. We are only promised today, you guys. Work with urgency. And then you're breaking a cycle. We talked about that. Rachel, what she's learned, you guys, is that she never breaks a promise to herself. And I love that. She says, what if a friend canceled on you all the time? What if a friend started something new all the time but never stayed with it? Would you respect that friend? You guys, would you trust that friend? Would you believe that friend? And the answer is no, you guys. But she goes, your subconscious knows that. And on the other hand, we know people who are serious about the commitments that they make. They never cancel on themselves. They never break a promise on themselves, and they trust themselves. That is where we struggle the most, you guys. And truly what she has learned to do is never break a promise on herself is going to be what changes your life. But she says you can't overpromise. And that is where we can't be everything to everyone. We have to learn those boundaries, and you will learn your boundaries when you know your priorities. When you know your priorities, your faith, your family, your job and obligations that you have that your family needs for it to survive, and then Arbonne. You can't have more than 4 or 5 priorities and take care of them well and do well with them. And so figure out what it is that is important to you, and then put boundaries and don't say yes to everything, she says, because we have to start learning how to take care of these things and discipline ourselves in these things, or we're never going to be able to not break promises to ourselves because we're expecting and doing more than we can out of our own ability. So which one are you? Are you the one that breaks promises to yourself, or are you the one that is a committed person and has learned, not because we always started out this way, you guys, but we have learned and developed how to not break a promise to ourselves? Where are you in your journey? Because this is where we have to be aware of and then be willing to start with from here. How many times have you canceled on yourself? Go through those questions. She says, because when you really want something, you'll find a way. When you don't, you'll find an excuse. So how does your subconscious know what to do? She says, you will get to the highest level of your training and why it is vital to work harder on you than it is your business, or you'll revert back to your highest level of mental training. That she talked about, you guys, if you go and you try to run a marathon, you will only get to as far as you have ever ran or trained to run before. If all you've ever ran is a mile, you're not going to get to the marathon. You have to train yourself to quit breaking habits on yourself so that you can get further down the road every time. You have to start fighting through your instincts, raise your level of training, and it takes discipline and a lot of work to retrain your brain. And that's where she used her addiction to Diet Coke and how she quit for 30 days the first time. And it was a big promise to her. And for some, it may not seem like a big deal because you're like, ew, Diet Coke. Well, guess what? If it's addiction for somebody, it's hard. And it was hard, I know, because I had to do it too. Establishing that success is what helped her believe she could do more, you guys. So do a little thing and be happy. Praise yourself and for the progress, because that's what's going to make you happy. I was so happy whenever I gave up Diet Coke for a 30-day period. And I know she was too. And it's what helped me raise my level of training to know that I could take more steps for my health because I had accomplished that step. That is what is the beauty of doing a little and not even worrying about being perfect, because you'll get better on your journey. It's a journey. It's not a diet. It's not like you're going to be, consultant to MVP overnight. You're going to develop the daily disciplines and start with those dailies to be able to get you there. And when you do, you will absolutely get wherever you want to be. She says that it's what helped her establish the new mindset of what she could do instead of believing the lies. And you guys, this is exactly what Arbonne teaches us to do. But she says you have to be forced to slow down. Don't say yes before you check your calendar, because you have to see if you can still hit this goal of what you've set for yourself over here if you say yes to this activity or person over here. Be careful with your yeses. Be committed to your goals. She said what helped her is start with one small goal progress, not perfection. Water goal for your health is what she tells people. Drink half your body weight in water. I mean, that is a great health goal for most people because they're drinking Diet Cokes. Number 2, be careful with your commitments. Learning to say no to the good, to say yes to the great. Let your yes always be a yes. Don't back out on your commitments, you guys. Start with yourself, and then you'll learn to be committed to others. She says, be honest with yourself. She says to be honest with yourself about what you are blowing off. If you take a good hard look at what you've canceled in the last 30 days, she says you might be shocked to discover how you are training yourself to behave. Think about it, you guys. Just do a reflection, because that is how we're going to get to go back. And if we stop that cycle now, if we don't stop it, we're not going to get the life that we wanted. And if we do learn how to stop it, you absolutely can build on that progress and that achievement and have another win for your life, because you know how to do it, because you've trained your brain to do it. And you're no longer a tomorrow person or a next week person or a next month person. You are building the life that you want and were meant to have starting today. So I hope that you guys will all take the time to do a true evaluation, get real, be honest, and then even tell your world about it so that you can inspire people to come into this community where we are all just here working to be a better version of ourselves today than we were yesterday. We're not perfect. We're just making progress, and we're staying happy and grateful for everything that we have in the moment for what it is. I love you all. I don't know how long I went over, but I thank you for those of you that stayed with it, and I hope that it will help inspire you and equip you to be able to become the best version of you, because that is what I know you can do, and you don't get to be less on my watch. Love you guys.